next guest is setting out to change and challenge unrealistic standards in parenting culture.
The author of I Can Fix This, Kristina Kuzmic, chronicles her journey navigating her son's mental health struggles and reveals why being vulnerable can sometimes be the best way to find hope and healing. Please welcome Kristina and Psychiatrist Dr. Janet Taylor. Good to see you guys.
Thank you so much.
Very important topic here. Now, your son Luca was diagnosed with depression and anxiety when he was a teen. First, how is he doing?
He's doing well. We take it day by day. The way he describes it in his chapter of the book is that mental health sometimes feels like a tug of war. Sometimes you're winning and sometimes you're losing, but most importantly, he has learned amazing coping skills that have really helped him.
So why was it important for you both to come publicly with your story?
You know, this is the book I needed when I was up all night, worried about my child. And even if you have the best support system, this can be such an incredibly lonely experience. And so both my son and I feel absolutely no shame, and there should be no shame about mental health. And I think that if we spoke about it more openly and loudly, we could save lives.
One of the things you talk about in this book is realizing when it comes to parenting that you're not in control. Why do you think that's so important for people to realize?
You know, when I found out my son was suicidal, as any parent would, I went into panic mode and fear mode, and I just wanted to fix everything. And when things I tried didn't work, I blamed myself, which parents do. And I had to ultimately accept that I can get him as much support as I can, but I cannot control this. And that is a crushing thing for a parent to accept, that I cannot fix this for my son. And the only thing that I really could control throughout it all was how I treated myself throughout the process, and not blaming myself and not adding the guilt, and just being really kind to myself.
And Dr. Taylor, Kristina and her son, they're not alone. Let's take a look at some disturbing numbers. A recent study has shown that 1 out of 5 young people have considered suicide within the last year. That is troubling. Why?
Well, it's troubling, number one, because as Kristina said, as parents, we feel like we should control everything. But the other aspect is not only that, almost 70% of teens who have mental health issues aren't getting treatment. And so when you have a child who says they're depressed, and depression is sadness that lasts more than 2 weeks, talks about suicide or self-harm, low self-esteem, chronic feelings of worthlessness, we have to take them seriously. And certainly when there's a change in their pattern, school, relationship with you, like, we have to pay attention, because we want to keep our children healthy and happy, and that means taking care of their mental health needs.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. So does it mean we're writing them off when they say, you know, I'm feeling a certain type of way, and we say, oh, you're just having a bad day, go lay down?
Yeah, I don't know any parent that necessarily writes their children off, but what we have to do as parents is pay attention to their normal routines. So when they deviate, we can say something about it. To acknowledge when they tell us, you know, this is hard, or I'm feeling this, acknowledge how they're feeling with empathy and love, and certainly not writing them off as you suggested. And the other thing is to understand, when your child has a problem, the whole family has a problem. So we don't just point fingers at the child saying it's you. And lastly, I work a lot with individuals who have substance abuse issues. We have to stop normalizing vaping and drinking alcohol, and certainly when your child is using controlled substances like Percocet, because usually those are things they're getting from our households. And so understanding that's usually a sign that something's going on when you have a child that is abusing substances on the weekend. Like, that's not normal for kids.
What would you say to those parents? Because Kristina talked about this, the panic that ensues when something's wrong with your kid and there's nothing you can do to fix it. What would you say to those parents that are looking for something?
Kristina writes about it in her book. It's almost like a post-traumatic stress, because you're worried. Like, they could move the coffee cup one way and you're going, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So there is that feeling of dread. But as in her book, knowing that you're not alone, and to speak about it, because one of the things that happens is you feel like it's only happening to you. And that's the power of her book, is that parents can say, it's not just me, and here's how to get help.
And she's right, it does take a village. Yeah. Did you see any signs in Luca growing up?
You know, when I look back, I can see a little here and there, but honestly, I just wish I had come from a place of curiosity sooner. I came from a place of assumption, going, oh, these are teen hormones, I got this, I know how to deal with this, instead of really standing in awe of his story and realizing this kid is struggling. It's deeper than just teen hormones, teen moods.
All right, well, thank you. You're helping a lot of people, both of you. Thank you.
And if you or someone you know is in crisis, free confidential help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call or text the National Lifeline at 988.
Again, Kristina and Dr. Taylor, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And starting tomorrow, you can pick up Kristina's new book, I Can Fix This, wherever books are sold, or scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen to purchase a copy.